Hi everyone, good afternoon. My name is Dr. Singh and I am here with Dr. Hauk. Today we're going to be speaking with you and we're going to be interviewing Dr. Hauk on just kids' health. As you know, Alf, kids are back to school now. It's been a couple of weeks, so I thought I would pick your brain and then everyone out there will benefit from some of the experience. You've been in practice for how long now?
Now, it'll be over 27 years. Yeah.
Wow, so almost at that big 30 mark.
I guess so, yes. We'll have to have a big party when 30 happens.
Definitely we will.
Yeah.
So, and I know personally your practice is very eclectic. You see everything across the spectrum, including kids' health, children's health. So that's what we're talking about today. The first question I wanted to pose to you is, what are some of the lifestyle strategies, like when it comes to, kids' overall health, in your opinion, what would be some of those important lifestyle strategies that parents should know and should inspire in their kids?
I have to, well, our clinic is called Holistic Healing Arts for a reason, which is that when you talk health, you have to always look at the big picture and all the component parts, because the addition of all the pieces that you have to engage in actually add up more and are a bigger picture than just the individual pieces. Does that make sense? Like, that's what holism is all about. And so at the end of the day, we need to do something. So we're talking about holism and kids and going back to school, and that's a very important part of their lives right now. And so lifestyle is as important, getting the right food, living the right pattern in your life, thinking the right thoughts. All of those things are important. And when we look at some three basic components of lifestyle that I just really want to share, because I think they're part and parcel of good health. One of them is, as parents, we need to be, from a very young age, reading to our kids. When I talk to educators, when we look at research, it turns out that when parents make the time to read to their children, we see a significant difference in their those kids' ability to be good students and their ability to learn and their ability to move forward and even self-educate themselves. So reading to your kids, absolutely a critical thing. The second thing that seems to be really important is activity. And this is fun activity. We're not talking about, playing rep hockey 7 days a week. We're talking about going out and having fun, swimming, biking, playing on the monkey bars. But it turns out that when these kids get out and really play hard and have fun, again, their ability to learn and their ability to focus is much enhanced. There's been a number of schools around the world that have actually created a policy related to that. A school board in Texas actually doubled all the recess time and then created a schoolyard that had lots of activities for the kids to do during that time. And they found a terrific improvement in the academic scores of these kids, and even things like their behavior concerns and ADHD and so on actually all shifted into a better direction. So being active, finding ways to be active, getting out and playing catch with your kids in the backyard, that's absolutely a critical piece, I think, of the whole back to school and the life of young people. And then the third thing that I think is really important is aesthetics. Kids that get a chance to learn music, listen to music, be engaged with music. Historically, schools had a very strong musical component, which I think has been watered down, and I think it's to our detriment in terms of even the academic scores, because we see that kids who learn music, play music, are engaged with music, weirdly enough, they actually do better and learn their reading, writing, and arithmetic faster than those who don't. So those are three lifestyle things that I think are really important that you don't think of as naturopathic things, but they're actually, I think, critical in the holistic picture. So I wanted to share that with you. I think that's something to consider. And then obviously, of course, creating a safe home life, making sure the kids are well fed, making sure that there's an opportunity for good sleep. And if those things aren't right, that's something that can be addressed. And you should definitely be talking to your naturopathic doctor about things that you can do in that area.
Yeah, I'm glad you raised those points, and you've made some excellent points. The reading, obviously, the earlier you start with your child, it's hopefully going to set up and inspire them later on in life to continue their own reading, and then when they have children. So you're absolutely right. And then in this day and age, I mean, even my kids are guilty of that, or I guess maybe I need to work on improving that, but like gaming and staying indoors and playing. So, you make a good point about we just got to get outside and move and play and have fun. I liked how you termed that as just to be out there and have fun, right? So that's important as well. The second area I wanted to ask you about, so kind of in evolving from that, is what are some of the dietary considerations? So when a patient comes to you that's a child with their parents, what are some of the messages you give with respect to diet?
The fundamentals, I guess the first thing to understand is that we just need to be eating real food. Mm-hmm. And a good chunk of it should be plant-based, and it shouldn't be over-processed. Sometimes we make life too complicated. We're trying to look for some uniquely magical herb or some plant that if we just eat a lot of it, it'll fix everything. Mm-hmm. Or we demonize some particular food and we stop eating it because when we stop eating it, everything will get better. That doesn't seem to be what actually happens in life, and definitely the science doesn't support that either. Mm-hmm. It's just the fundamentals are, in my opinion, is to not make eating a new stress, but to work with yourself and your kids to eat more of the stuff we know we should be eating more of. Most of us already know that. And eat less of the stuff we should be eating less of. Mm-hmm. And I think part of that is, as parents, we need to be a good example. If dad is only eating mashed potatoes and sausages, then the child is going to balk at being made to eat their broccoli and their salad. That's just the reality of real life. So, yeah. So as parents, we need to eat the food we expect our children to eat, and we need to make sure that there's no status in our home to eating garbage, for lack of a better word. You don't need to have a whole fridge full of pop or trays of it in the garage, and it's only something special that mom and dad eat. Well, that gives a very bad message to children. Mm-hmm. Everyone in the family should be eating good food, and it should be available to everybody, and the minimally processed stuff should be minimally eaten. Or the maximally processed stuff should be minimally eaten, I guess, for lack of a better word. But I think that's the foundation without making it a big deal. But then, yes, eat your veggies, eat lean proteins, eat good fats. We're actually becoming a bit fat phobic in our Western world, and we need to eat our, tablespoons of olive oil. And there's nothing wrong with a little bit of good animal fat. Mm-hmm. We don't need to eat a whole bunch of, fats that are in our cooked and baked goods and so on. We need to just eat real food and eat minimal processed food. So without getting too ranty on that, I think that's a really important piece of just foundational nutrition. Mm-hmm. If a child tends to have a relationship with certain foods that is beyond just good nutrition, like they're just almost addicted to it. They just gotta have their cheese strings or they'll just die. Or they gotta have their goldfish crackers or they'll just die. The odds are that child may have a relationship with that food that suggests there's a sensitivity going on. Mm-hmm. But it's very specific. You don't want to make broad generalities. You want to work with a health professional, a naturopathic doctor, who can help you fine-tune what is going on with your child's diet. Because diet is a foundation on which everything else builds.
No, wonderful. I loved how you turned that in. Basically, as parents, we have to walk the talk, is what I'm hearing from you.
We do.
We have to set an example of health overall. And just to wind down, it's amazing how time flies.
Yeah, I know.
We're having fun, right?
Minutes. Yeah.
If you were to summarize even one or two nutritional supplements that may be important for a day-to-day for a children's health overall, what would you say to that?
Across the board, again, everything should be customized and tailor-made for your unique child. But generally speaking, there are two nutrients that are fairly deficient across the board and are very important. Magnesium, for example, is a very chronic deficiency by every study done in the Western world, and it is important to help us focus, relax our muscles. It's an important player in sugar regulation. So it plays a role in literally hundreds of chemical reactions, and it's often deficient. Even people who eat pretty well benefit from magnesium. The other supplement that I would think of would be a good omega-3 fats, especially EPA and DHA. These are fats that are brain building, they're anti-inflammatory, and they help the body function better in that regard. But again, you have to look at the individual person. Some kids really do need something specific, and some have an excellent diet, and it's not necessarily that critical.
Great, thank you. So to all our viewers, thank you for tuning in. Today we sort of gave an outline, thanks to Dr. Hauk here, on children's health, strategies for overall, optimizing their health, It is back to school season now, so definitely if you want to get an A+ on their health checklist at Holistic Healing Art, definitely you can check in with one of us and let's go over your child's health. Thank you for tuning in.